One of the best features about being in college, like all of us, is that school uniforms are not required. I know I love being able to wear whatever I want and just roll out of bed and go straight to my classes. All my life, I've had to wear uniforms. School uniforms were very common in Louisville throughout middle school and high school. I'm sure the majority of you all know the pain of waking up early and trying to find the correct sock that you have to wear. But today, I'm advocating for school uniforms to not be required. My biggest issue with school uniforms is the inability to express yourself. Although it may not seem like your clothes define you or show your personality, but they actually do. Uniforms restrict students' freedom of expression, and not to get too political, but the First Amendment of the United States Constitution guarantees that all individuals have the right to express themselves freely. According to CNN in Sweden, a government agency called the School Inspectorate determined that uniforms were a human rights violation because dress and appearance should be considered an individual expression decided by the students themselves. Also, clothing choices are a crucial form of self-expression, and allowing students to choose their clothing is an empowering message from the schools that a student is maturing and is entitled to the most basic form of self-determination. Uniforms take away the ability to use clothing as a form of expression. No one really wants to wear a pleated skirt that has to be no longer than 4 inches above your knee. People want to wear their favorite band t-shirt or paint their nails any color they want. Another reason uniforms should be banned is because school uniforms promote conformity instead of individuality. Chicago Junior High School student Kyler Smutter wrote in the Huffington Post, "They decided to teach us about people like Rosa Parks, Susan B. Anthony, and Booker T. Washington. We learned about how these people expressed themselves and conquered, and we can't even express ourselves in the hallways." I agree with that statement a lot because we can't wear simple things to express ourselves in the hallways, and schools ingrain it in our head that we should be our own person and stand up for ourselves and be independent, but uniforms group us together and make us conform to certain standards that sometimes we don't want to follow. It's a little hypocritical, don't you think? But conformity is seen in prisons and gangs where they all dress the exact same and the same way. This is very similar to strict rules of school uniforms. One main argument seen recently around conformity in school uniforms is that school uniforms are specifically gendered. Transgender and gender fluid people feel that it is not fair to conform to a certain gender that they don't feel comfortable with or that they want to do. School uniforms also do not really have a main purpose. School uniforms do not improve attendance, they don't improve your academic preparedness, or even your exam results. David L. Brunsma, who has his PhD and is a professor of sociology at Virginia, did a study and got a sample of 10th graders and found that there are no effects of uniforms on absent numbers, behavioral problems such as fighting and suspensions, or substance use on campus. Uniforms just don't make us any smarter or do any better at school. In recent studies about body image, it has also been found that uniforms may be detrimental to a student's self-image. When students have to wear the same outfit rather than being allowed to select their own clothes that suit their body types, they can suffer from embarrassment at school. Child and Teen Development Specialist Robin Silverman told NBC News Today that students, especially girls, tend to compare themselves or what they look like in their uniforms. I went to an all-girls high school with about 800 girls, and I can personally relate to this. Every girl has a different body type, and being surrounded by that many girls in the same uniform can influence how you look on yourself. Focusing on uniforms takes attention away from finding genuine solutions to problems in the education. We all know there are several problems in education, and uniforms just are not one of them. Spending time and effort implementing uniform policies may detract from more effective efforts to reduce crime in schools or boost student performance. More improvements to public education could be achieved by smaller class sizes, tightening security, increased parental involvement, improving faculties, and so many other measures. But school uniforms are a distraction from focusing on systematic and fundamental transformations to improve our school system. Uniforms are also very costly. They can be expensive for parents. Keeping a child in school uniforms may even be more expensive than buying regular clothes. Often uniforms are available for limited numbers of suppliers and lack competition, so that keeps the prices high. Uniform will include pricier items such as like a blazer or dress shoes, which families might struggle to afford more than just like a polo shirt. Also, at many schools, there are different types of uniforms. Like, for instance, I had a dress down day and a casual day, so I had to buy both uniforms, and that is very costly. And then after you graduate, you probably will never wear your uniform again, so it's just a waste of money there. Whereas if we didn't have uniforms and wore regular clothes, we would continue to wear those. Lastly, uniform rules are absolutely outrageous. Several rules I came across during my 13 years of uniforms just did not even make sense. I don't understand why having a specific type of white sock that fully covers my ankle really matters, and I don't get why I can't paint my fingernails my favorite color. And also, if you do not abide by these rules, there are serious consequences. I strongly do not believe that detentions or getting called out in front of the whole entire class is fair for you not wearing the correct uniform one day, especially if you accidentally forgot to include one part of the uniform. Many schools also do not give warnings and just go straight to detention, so it's a little outrageous. Well, I hope all of you all realize that we do take being able to wear whatever we want during college for granted, and I hope you agree with me on my side of school uniforms. Thank you.